Honda IndyCar star Gabby Chaves has driven many kinds of race cars as he's climbed the open-wheel racing ladder. He's excelled at all of them, giving him an opportunity to drive Brian Herta's Honda-powered IndyCar this season. But nowhere in Gabby's background is there USAC-style midget racing. Chaves now can check that off his list with his appearance Saturday in the Tony Stewart Classic at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Gabby gets his first taste of a class of cars that launched many great driving careers, including those of A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti. It turns out that Chaves' first turn behind the wheel of the Eric Rankin Beast Honda Midget wasn't a whole lot different from his normal run.
Well, I mean, definitely the first time I got in it, I wasn't sure what to expect, and then my first few laps, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? And then obviously, it's just, once you get used to it, you realize it's just another race car. I mean, it does feel a lot different, it handles differently, especially the way you steer the car is very different, but like I said, at the end of the day, you're just trying to drive as fast as you can. And then obviously the difference in driving in a much bigger track compared to a, fifth of a mile track, it's very different to me. I've never driven anything so small. And obviously it's just goes on and on and on, and you never stop. It's like you never have time to breathe. In this car, I'm obviously my first time out. I mean, it's incredible, taking, I think, what I believe is just, a normal Honda Civic engine and, tuning it up a little bit, and basically just feels like a monster out there.
The Tony Stewart Classic is open competition, so racers with higher horsepower motors were allowed to compete against the Honda engine package that powers the USAC HPD midgets. Add that to a lack of familiarity with this kind of racing, and Gabby had to work hard to keep expectations in check.
Hopefully we can dial in the car, keep improving every session. I'm going to be racing up against some guys that have been doing this for a very, very long time, much more than I have, obviously. So I think, if we can just go out there, kind of race with the guys, it'll be good. It's obviously a unique opportunity, so I'm going to try to, savor the moment and, enjoy it a little bit more than I'm used to. So I'll do that. But like always, it's in my nature to be as competitive as I can be.
Honda supplies the K24 crate engine to USAC, which then seals them for the HPD Regional Midget Series. Honda's USAC involvement is part of its continuing commitment to grassroots racing.
It's a whole field that we recognized of not just upcoming racers, but also fans and people who are going out there and just driving every day just to have fun, not necessarily wanting to become the next pinnacle IndyCar driver. But at the same time, this is a feeder series. USAC and midget racing is where they used to start. There's a lot of old pro drivers that came up through midgets and sprint cars, and this is the original oval track racing. So we wanted to make sure that we were a big part of that. So this engine is out of a 2012 Civic Si, 2012 to 2015. It's a 2.4 liter dual overhead cam, VTEC and VTC, which is variable cam timing. This engine was a great engine because it has a lot of capability to have a broad range of power. It's very popular, has a lot of parts available for it. The engine's been fully developed. USAC has the package currently available to all their customers and racers. They're actually offering an incentive package right now, so anybody that wants to buy them is getting a bit of a discount on them from what they normally cost.
Chaves was one of 3 Honda-powered drivers in the Stewart Classic field and qualified a respectable 11th in the heat of the day. Starting third in his heat race, Gabby quickly stormed into second. First was just out of reach, but he settled in right behind for the whole 10 laps. With that success, Gabby's hopes were elevated for a good finish in the feature.
It's fun, man. I pretty much guessed that, on your own you have fun, but when you're racing with other people, I mean, the level of adrenaline, level of your competitiveness, everything just shoots through the roof. So I had a blast out there in my first heat race, and looking forward to a good race in the final. Relatively, it's a long race, I guess, for what these cars are used to doing, and from what I hear, it's a pretty hard race on the race cars. I mean, these cars make a lot of power for how little they are, and obviously, they can wear through some of the equipment pretty quick. So, hopefully with our Honda engine, we can get some really good reliability and just be there at the end when it matters.
Then it was down to business. Chaves starting 11th in the 100-lap main event. He stayed in 11th for the first 10 laps and then some magic.
I started off, had 1 or 2 passes, kind of was trying to work my way around people, really gauge where the strengths and weaknesses were. And then at one point, I remember looking up the scoreboard and thinking, we started 11th. running up in the top 6, top 5 now. You know, I think, you know, I can keep, and I was catching the guys, you know, the leaders at that point. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, this is getting pretty good. I feel like we're in a good place to start attacking again, and kept the car underneath me, and just, you know, kept moving up through the field.
At lap 75, a scheduled red flag and a unique challenge that only Gabby Chaves was willing to accept. Restart dead last. He'd be the only driver to get 4 fresh tires. If he could win the race, he'd pick up a $10,000 bonus.
You know, I said to myself, man, the car's feeling great. I feel confident. You know, I've been learning so much, and I just feel really good driving right now. So I said, you know, let's finish off the day, you know, with a big challenge.
Restarting with 25 to go, Gabby had 11 cars in front of him, but he needed a caution and some luck. Instead, he got neither. Despite passing more than half the remaining cars, Gabby ran out of time, but still finished a strong 5th, crediting Honda Power for much of his success.
You know, I think that's where I was just better in a lot of the other cars out there, is the drivability. And off the corners, I mean, I just had so much more smooth acceleration. I could keep the traction underneath me, and I was just able to get that jump off the corner. So, you know, and that's how I made all my passes, just coming off the corner. I just had better torque.
Gabby Chaves may be coming to a midget race near you. At the Indianapolis Speedrome, I'm Rick Benjamin, Honda Racing HPD Trackside.